Okay, right, day 16 still. Um, so we're moving back up the tree. Yesterday was the day of harmony sphere. Um, that connects with like the Christ and Shiva, the god Shiva and the Buddha, um, like the solar deities. It connects with creation, the idea of creation and destruction. If you connect it with Shiva, for example. Um, so as we go back up, further up the tree, to what informs that sphere, um, we go into the sphere of destruction, of severity. This is today's sphere. So as we go up the tree, like tomorrow, we go into the sphere of mercy. Now, in order to get up the tree, you've got to go through the sphere of severity. Now, the way I understand this is like it's the most severe aspect of deity. You know? So this is like um, the dark face of Shiva, the destructive aspect. Um, so it fits with like the keys to hell and death. Um, okay, one of the things I've had happen to me throughout my life is I've gone through two periods of extreme sleep deprivation. Not voluntarily, it just happened to me, right? And I talked to my doctor, and he wouldn't believe it. He wouldn't believe how little sleep I'd had. I had approximately 5 hours a month sleep, proper sleep, over a 5 month period. That happened twice. Um, I'm kind of not surprised my doctor wouldn't believe me. I tried talking to him about it and telling him what's happened, and he says, "Oh no, you have actually been getting sleep." I mean, this is why I've got these bags under my eyes that are like pretty much permanent. Um, dark marks because I've gone through such intense sleep deprivation. I actually found out after that. I mean, I'm going back about 15 years now. That's when this happened. 12, 15 years. I think it happened twice. So once was about 15 years ago. Once was more like 14 years ago, I suppose. So, or 16 and 14 years, probably about 2 years apart. Um, but I was very, I've got a good memory, and I was keeping real clever, accurate records of how much actual proper sleep I got, proper actual unconsciousness. And it was about 5 hours a week, which is about 10 minutes a night. And I found out since then that that's the very minimum amount. The US Army done experiments on their soldiers to find out the minimum amount of sleep that you can get by on and stay and still be sane, and it's 10 minutes a night. And that's basically what I was getting for 5 months, and that happened twice. So, you know, this is one of the things, the reasons why I'm on these sort of levels. I've gone through such like extreme. I wouldn't. I got. This is sort of. I've been through things that I wouldn't wish on anyone. Pretty much, that for a long time, that's I couldn't. I couldn't imagine that anybody should be just. And I just because I grew up with the idea of karma. I thought I used to think to myself, look, maybe was I Adolf Hitler in another lifetime? You know, and also I found out that Alexander the Great um, had these two demons that were like kept him awake all the time. And I feel like I've got something like that as well. It's like there's these things that just something you which could not, but you'd have to go through what I've been through to understand it. But um, things happen, right? And it just you cannot believe the synchronicity the just the absolute just unbelievable clockwork kind of nature of these things that just keep you awake all the time and just don't give you a chance to get any sleep. It's unbelievable. It's you can't get your head around it. So the only way you can understand it is there must be some sort of evil spirits like deliberately keeping you awake. You know, and going to and they've got all kinds of powers to do it, and they can control virtually the whole world. And stop you getting any sleep. This is what I've had to deal with, and so I know all about severity. And so I know how to disregard empathy for people because I know people haven't been through the sort of shit I've been through. And if they have, they wouldn't act like they did, because I don't act like they do. You know, I try not to judge people. The only time I judge people is if they're attacking me, and it's really not really judgment. It's just defense. I defend myself. You know, so that's what I feel it's about. You know, Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, he's really reluctant to use these powers of severity to destroy all his friends, old friends and relatives and stuff. But Krishna convinces him in the end. He goes through all these like discussions with him to convince him that it's just the right thing to do. You're not actually killing them, but you have to kind of destroy them, at least on this physical, in your mind, because otherwise they will just, you know, they're just out of control. They've gone over to the dark side. They're already dead. They're already consigned themselves to hell, if you like. You know? And but actually, there are, and in terms of like what Krishna is talking about, there are no actual souls anyway. There is only the one true reality, and that's all it is. Um, and destruction is an integral part of creation. You can't have creation without destruction. So you have to go through this path of this sphere of severity and understand that the very, very, like Satan, you connect him with this aspect of Satan in the book of Job, where he destroys all Job's family and all his possessions and stuff. You've got to be like that. You've got to be able to connect with that energy. This is the keys to hell and death. And you need to have these in order to get into the sphere of severity properly and get the real strong benefits of the sphere of mercy, sorry, which is tomorrow's lesson. So we need to get, you know, down this stuff, this sort of like the control of hell, you know, so that we can have control of mercy, because the two balance each other out. So if you want the real good mercy stuff, you've got to be prepared to do the dirty work as well, the destruction.